In this video, I will show you my tests using WPVibe and Claude. It allows us to use Claude to update content, create pages, and do all these different things inside of WordPress. I prepared a simple setup for this, which is using Astra theme, starter templates, and Spectra. I have chosen this template called WP Vantage, and that gives us a homepage and a few other pages to play with. At the end, I will show you how I have installed WPVibe, but I will first show you all my tests so you can see how powerful this can be. I have also found a few problems you can avoid. I have this page called About with a few members. My first task was to see if Claude could change Clark Street, Chief Operating Officer, to Clark Kent, Superman. I asked Claude exactly that with a very simple prompt. And as you can see, it was able to change the team member information, no problems there. For my second test, I asked Claude to add to the About page a new member called Jose, but I also wanted to add an image, so I uploaded the image to my Google Drive and gave Claude the URL. And again, Claude was able to add me as you can see on the screen. At this point I thought, this is great, but those are things I can do quicker and without paying Claude. So I decided to start testing more complex tasks. I asked AI to generate a client request to update the About Us page with the new text content. Then I fed this file to Claude and asked it to do the client request. And again, it was able to update everything. So my next request was for it to create a new page. And this is where I had the first real problem. I mean, it created a page as you can see, but it was not good. And the Spectra Blocks were also wrong and with errors inside of the admin. Makes sense if you think about it. Claude doesn't fully understand how Spectra Blocks work out of the box, so I decided to give Claude a little training. I asked it to create a bunch of different pages and fixed each of those manually so it could compare and learn the mistakes. And after a few hours of fixing errors, it was generating a much better working block structure. I mean, it's not a pro design, but that's expected. The good part is that it gave no errors, and that was the goal. So I got happy and asked Claude to generate a reference document so it will not make the same mistakes again. I'm leaving a link for this document on the video description if you want to try. This is only for Spectra and I haven't tested this using Elementor or other WordPress builders. So my next step was to help Claude design. And to do that, I have created a bunch of patterns and restrained Claude to only use these patterns to create the page. And the results were much better as you can see on the screen. Now the big question was, Claude is not able to design on its own, but if it knows Spectra better after all the training, can it replicate an existing live page from another website? For this test, I have selected 3 websites, Pixar's website, an Irish pub called Temple Bar, and Nike's website. All very simple designs, I know, but we have to start with something simple. These were the results. As you can see, got fairly close, but it's definitely not perfect. Well, I'm sure you could also keep asking Claude to fix the mistakes, but those were all for one prompt. If it gets close to replicating a simple design, maybe it can replicate wireframes. Those are much simpler than design. And as I was expecting, yes, it did a very good job on all my tests as you can see on the screen. Now let's have a quick look on how to install WPVibe and Claude. At the end, I will give you my honest thoughts. Go to Claude Settings, then Connectors. Click on Custom Connector and add information from WPVibe website. Now go to WPVibe website and download the latest version of their plugin. Then on your admin, go to Plugins and click Add New. Choose the file from your computer and click Install. After installing, activate it. On the left side menu, you will now see Vibe AI. Copy this prompt on the screen in your website's URL and paste it to Claude. Ask for Claude to give you the authentication URL. Now you can click on Authorize. This should be it. Do a first test and ask Claude if it can connect to your site and change something simple. Now I know we can trust AI to update live websites and there will be a lot of frustration with costs and results, but to me this is the future of WordPress. And I like WPVibe because it only works with WordPress API, so it's not making any file changes. Let me know in the comments if you agree or if you have used other tools like this. These were my tests with WPVibe and Claude so far. I hope you like it as much as I did. Thanks for watching.